This is Tyrone reporting for the Real News Network in Baltimore City, Maryland. I'm standing outside the Maryland Medical Examiner's office, a key player in the controversy surrounding Tyrone West's death in police custody in 2013. Today, his sister Tawanda Jones held a press conference to reveal new information about his death. It's the latest in a series of moves by West's family to call attention to his death, which they say was the result of police brutality. Police beat West for nearly an hour after they pulled him over during a routine traffic stop in the summer 2013. His family wants the officers charged, but prosecutors defended their actions, refusing to indict. Part of the conflict here at the medical examiner's office is that they have yet to release a full autopsy. Today, the family is here to address the issues. Now, Stephen, can you give me an update on what happened here today and what Tawanda shared with the crowd?
Well, again, she recounted some of the worst aspects of dying in police custody. That her family was she believed lied to by police initially afterwards, that the family car was never returned, that they said in the report that her brother didn't have his license when they found her license in her brother's house 2 days afterwards after a mysterious break-in, that they didn't get to see the body, they've never seen photographs of the body, that the medical examiner has yet to release a full report, and that they did their own medical examination, exhumed their brother's body, and found that he died from positional asphyxiation, which I guess, is something where the police hold caused him not to be able to breathe. So it really is recounting, in a sense, a nightmare for this family that continues, as they said, 170 weeks later. And as you can see, one of the worst things that happened in Baltimore, a very violent city, is to die at the hands of police because you literally don't get any information. So she really but one of the things she did that really upped the ante is showed a picture of her brother's body she took after the autopsy that was just horrifying.
Right.
And I think this just shows, again, the pain of these families is never really answered because no one really answers their questions. And the basic problem is that there is no transparency. So let's take a look and watch what happened at this press conference. It was very emotional and very moving. And let's take a look.
Okay. So my name's Tawanda Jones, the sister of Tyrone West, and this is my mom and my daughter and my family here. And everybody out here is my family because they've been with us from day one. We've been now out here for 177 weeks trying to hold people accountable. And the killer cops, every last one of them still walking the beat. From day one, when they walked in my family house on July the 19th, for one, we didn't get that phone call nobody never wants to get. They walked in with lies. And when they walked in, we had them recorded. So I'm going to play this little clip real quick. So it's kind of taking us back to that day. But as you can hear clearly, they walked in with a bunch of lies. Then it gets so deep where she don't want to, hear it now. And I can let you guys hear it later. But they actually start praying with us. When we start asking violent questions like, why didn't you call us? What happened to our loved one? We see you searching through the car on the news. Well, he called it a cursory search that required and all this foolishness to make sure a dead body wasn't in the back of my car and all this stuff. And they said that the autopsy report was going to be completed at 2:30 because this is on the 19th on this call when I recorded all of this. But with all that being said, they said everything was going to be transparent and nothing about this whole ordeal has been transparent. The lies began from day one. So on December the 10th, 5 months later, I'll never forget a reporter. Her name is Atoya, and if you want her link, I can send it. She reported that my brother was murdered and he died from positional asphyxiation. And, no sooner than that, than the mayor and the commissioner, the outgoing mayor and the outgoing commissioner, they came out with the foolishness from the medical examiner's office stating that my brother had a pre-existing heart problem and, due to cardiac arrhythmia and dehydration, that was a combination that killed him, which was a bunch of lies. Yeah. So that was their lie. Then, recently this year, Dr. Mangan, who went over all the stuff, he reported that positional asphyxiation, which we knew to be true. So, long story short, I had to wind up my family and I. We had to go through the painful task of unearthing our loved one. Do you know how painful that was? Literally unearthing him. So they wanted to be the bearer of bad news right before the holidays. We got a present for them.
You're not going to come up in here and start lying to my family. So we knew it was time to get answers. It was time to walk the streets, go back into the neighborhood where his murder occurred and start getting answers. And of course, it was different from what the police were saying. As if because you wear blue and a badge, you don't lie. They lied from day one, but we promised Tyrone and we promised each other we will not stop until we get the truth. What happened to our loved one?
So, right here is one of my little gifts, the independent foolishness. I suppose it's been a so-called thorough investigation, which regurgitated what the killer cop said, nothing about what the witnesses described the horrible, brutal beating, pepper spray, kick tased, beat for over a half hour, brutally murdered. But this foolishness, but I want you to be clear, and that's why we're demanding a thorough investigation. We're demanding that the state's attorney and the mayor open up the case and do a thorough investigation and put these killer cops in cell blocks.
Mind you, they listed my brother as a John Doe. As to why, and this is my bag that I picked up from homicide. My bag that I picked up from homicide that said he was John Doe. Right? The only thing that I ever received back was my car keys, one set of keys, which I have to the day. They lied, said my car was on drug code. They placed it in the day they came out on the 19th, it was in drug code, but yet they shipped it to the pound that same day. The autopsy was done 2:30 on the same day they came to us, but it took them 5 months to give us foolishness. But meanwhile, that says that he had his driver's license clear as day on it. Now meanwhile, back at the ranch, someone broke into, I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, someone broke into my brother's house mysteriously 2 days after he was murdered. And the way the landlord described it, as if his house was raided. He said, I don't understand how they got in. They didn't have keys. And the neighbors described all of his belongings being placed out on the front where people were coming by getting big screen TVs, all of his clothes and whatnot. Who breaks in and does that? But meanwhile, when I went in there, the only thing I could do was just like, my mind was gone. Yeah. My brother just killed 2 days ago. Now somebody broke in his house. But meanwhile, guess what I found on the ground that somebody dropped? What is this? What is this? My brother's driver's license. What is this? What is this? And they want to tell us they did a thorough investigation. Some foolishness. But if that wasn't early enough, back to this medical examiner's office. Yeah. Who lies for the police.
Lied.
They lied.
Coming up.
So we have the report where they unearthed my brother. But it's still early. Because meanwhile, while I was trying to get the doctor to do it, someone called to pretend to be me to tell the doctor not to do it. What kind of sick foolishness is that? And meanwhile, inside of here, the last time I saw my brother, when he was in the casket, my brother had on a black shirt, gray and white tie, white pants, white belt. Meanwhile, he gets shipped to Alabama with a damn yellow shirt on. Who put a yellow shirt on him?
Of active ingredients of illegal street drugs, and his toxicological analysis confirms that restraining Mr. West in a prone position and compromising his breathing mechanism is the main cause of his demise. Based upon my education, training, experience, the review of scientific literature, the files submitted in this matter, and my post-mortem examination, I state with a reasonable degree of medical certainty that Mr. Tyrone West's cause of death is positional asphyxia.
To this day, no autopsy pictures, only ID photos. And I'm going up in there after y'all leave because I'm demanding, I want to see autopsy photos. But I have something that I want to share with y'all that I've never shared with anyone. You better believe me when I tell you, I took pictures of my damn brother's body. You're not going to hide him for 5 days? Are you kidding me? 5 days. We couldn't see him. Couldn't talk to him. Nothing. Couldn't identify him. You think I wasn't going to take no pictures? And there's plenty more. I'm just going to show one graphic one. And I don't want my mom to see it. But they acted to my brother. They got at my damn brother. And I'm not talking about no wide shit.
And I don't want nobody to take no picture because I don't want this off. Please. Sorry, no, she never saw it. Sorry.
Sorry. But that's what they did to my damn brother. And I have plenty more.
So, Stephen, you spoke to our new mayor, Catherine Pugh, and you asked her whether or not she would meet with Tyrone West's family. What did she say?
Well, she was very blunt about it. She basically said, no, let's watch the tape and let's see what she said. And they want to know if they have new evidence presented, if you would meet with them about the case, because they feel like the case hasn't gotten proper attention.
Yeah, but I don't handle cases. I think that's what we have a state's attorney's office for. I would direct them to the state's attorney's office.
This is Tara Graham and Stephen Janis reporting for the Real News Network in Baltimore City, Maryland.